Before you continue watching, pause for just a moment and think about something simple but meaningful. In this video, you're about to witness how a single moment of awareness can completely change the fate of a life that cannot speak or ask for help. Sometimes animals cross our path silently, hoping that someone will notice them. A small decision, stopping for a moment, paying attention, choosing to care, can become the difference between suffering and safety. Today, this story will remind us how powerful compassion can be, even in the smallest moments. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you never miss more meaningful and powerful stories like this one. Now, before you keep watching, let me ask you something. Where are you watching this video from right now? Take a second and think about it. Maybe you're sitting comfortably at home, perhaps on a couch or in your bedroom, scrolling through videos after a long day. Some of you might be watching during a short break at work or school. Others might be watching late at night when the world outside has become quiet and the only sound around you is the gentle glow of your screen. Wherever you are part of this moment. Videos like this reach people from all over the world. Someone might be watching from a busy city filled with bright lights and crowded streets. Another viewer might be in a small town where life moves slowly and peacefully. Some may be surrounded by mountains, forests, deserts, or oceans. And even though these places are completely different, everyone watching right now shares this one moment together. That's why it's always fascinating to see where viewers are coming from. When people begin writing their countries in the comments, something amazing starts to happen. The comment section slowly turns into a small map of the world. Someone from India might appear next to someone from Canada. A viewer from Brazil might comment right after someone from Germany. People from France, Japan, Turkey, the United States, Australia, and many other countries begin joining the conversation. In just a few minutes, viewers from dozens of places are connected in one shared space. But there's something even more important than where people are watching from. It's what they feel. I don't know about you, but moments like this always make me stop and think. Life moves quickly for most of us. We wake up, go to work or school, handle responsibilities, and move through our daily routines without stopping very often. Days pass by, sometimes feeling almost the same as the ones before. But every now and then, something happens that makes us pause. Something small, something unexpected, a moment that reminds us that we share this world with countless other living creatures. Animals live all around us, quietly moving through the same environments we do. Birds fly above our cities, dogs wander through streets and neighborhoods, and small creatures hide in places we rarely notice. Many of them live their entire lives beside humans without ever being seen. And the truth is simple. Animals cannot ask for help. They cannot explain when they are hungry. They cannot tell us when they are injured, cold, or frightened. All they can do is wait and hope that someone notices them. Sometimes people walk past without realizing what is happening just a few steps away. Not because they are uncaring, but because life keeps them focused. Responsibility, worries, and distractions often fill our attention. But occasionally, someone does stop, someone notices, and that moment can change everything. Maybe it's a thirsty dog sitting quietly beside the road during a hot afternoon. Maybe it's a bird that cannot fly because it has been injured. Maybe it's a small animal hiding in fear, hoping that the next person will not ignore it. Helping an animal does not always require something big or dramatic. Sometimes it is as simple as offering food. Sometimes it means placing a small bowl of water outside. Sometimes it is simply protecting a creature that cannot protect itself. Those actions might feel small from a human perspective, but to the animal receiving that help, they can mean survival. So let me ask you another question. Have you ever helped an animal before? Maybe you gave food to a stray dog or cat. Maybe you helped a bird that had fallen from its nest. Maybe you simply made sure an animal had water on a hot day. If you have experienced something like that, we would love to hear about it. Tell us your story in the comments. Because sometimes the most powerful stories begin with nothing more than a single moment of kindness. And sometimes that moment is enough to remind us that compassion is one of the most important things we can share. When someone chooses to care, that single decision ripples far beyond expectation. In our busy lives, it's easy to overlook the quiet, fragile world of animals living among us. Survival often depends on whether someone chooses to pay attention. A simple act of noticing, like helping an injured bird or providing water on a hot day, opens the door to hope. These quiet moments of kindness aren't just stories, They are the start of a chain reaction. By sharing these experiences, we inspire others to see the world differently, creating a global community bound by compassion. Because every small choice can change a life forever. And often, the comment section becomes a place where stories of kindness begin to appear. Viewers share experiences of helping animals unexpectedly, reminding us that kindness exists everywhere. It only requires a moment of attention to recognize that another living creature might need help. When we slow down, we notice the subtle signs, an animal searching for food or a safe place. Small gestures like leaving fresh water or food can mean safety and survival for them. Moving slowly and speaking gently builds a powerful connection between two very different lives. Some of the most meaningful rescue stories begin with a single moment of trust. Eventually, that simple act of kindness can lead to something greater. The animal may recover its strength, it may find a permanent home, or it may return to the wild with the chance to live freely again. Stories like these remind people that compassion does not need to be loud or dramatic. Often, it works quietly in the background of everyday life. One person helping one animal may not seem like a major event to the outside world, but to that animal, it can mean everything. This is why moments like the one in this video often resonate so strongly with viewers. They remind us that empathy still exists in the world. They show that people from different cultures and countries share the same instinct to protect vulnerable lives. When viewers begin sharing their own experiences in the comments, those individual stories combine to form something larger. Each message becomes part of a growing collection of kindness. Someone from one country might describe rescuing a small kitten during a rainy evening. Another person from a completely different part of the world might talk about feeding birds during winter when food is scarce. Even though the locations are different, the emotions behind those actions are remarkably similar. Care, concern, responsibility. These feelings connect people in ways that go beyond geography or language. And sometimes, all it takes to create that connection is a simple reminder that animals cannot ask for help. They can only hope that someone nearby will notice. And when someone does notice, that single moment of awareness can begin a story that neither the person nor the animal will ever forget. Many people underestimate how powerful that moment of recognition can be. In everyday life, we pass by hundreds of small details without thinking twice. A movement near the sidewalk, a quiet sound coming from behind a fence, or an animal resting beneath a tree might barely register in our minds. Yet sometimes those small details are actually silent signals asking for attention. Animals cannot explain their struggles in words. They cannot describe hunger, fear, or injury the way humans can. Their communication is quiet and often misunderstood. A weak movement, a soft cry, or simply remaining in one place longer than usual might be the only clues they can give. That is why awareness matters so much. When people begin to notice these signs, they start to see the world differently. Instead of viewing animals as distant parts of the environment, they begin to recognize them as living beings sharing the same space. This shift in perspective often leads to empathy, and empathy naturally leads to action. Sometimes that action is immediate. A person may find an injured bird and gently move it somewhere safe. Someone might see a stray dog wandering near traffic and guide it away from danger. Others may contact local rescue organizations or shelters that specialize in helping animals in difficult situations. In many communities, volunteers dedicate their time to caring for animals that have no one else to protect them. They feed strays, provide medical care, and work patiently to help animals recover from injuries or illness. These efforts are not always visible to the wider public, but they make an enormous difference for countless animals every year. 단체에 소속되지 않은 개인도 여전히 큰 변화를 만들 수 있습니다. 정기적으로 베푸는 작은 친절은 주변 동물들에게 더 안전한 환경을 제공합니다. 깨끗한 물을 주거나 단순히 동물이 해를 입지 않도록 살피는 것만으로도 그 동물의 삶을 완전히 바꿀 수 있습니다. 동정심의 놀라운 점은 그것이 얼마나 쉽게 퍼져나가는가 하는 것입니다. 누군가 동물을 돕고 그 이야기를 공유하면 다른 사람들도 영감을 받습니다. 결국 우리는 공감을 중심으로 한 커뮤니티를 구축하게 됩니다. 모든 것은 주변을 알아차리는 아주 작은 순간에서 시작됩니다. 한때 평범하게 느껴졌던 장소들이 그동안 같은 환경에서 조용히 움직이고 있던 작은 생명들을 새롭게 드러냅니다. 신뢰를 쌓는 데는 시간이 걸리지만 그 순간이 오면 잊기 힘든 유대감이 생깁니다. 그 가치는 도움을 받는 생명에게 만들어준 변화에 있습니다. 오늘 당신의 주변을 잠시 멈추고 둘러보세요. 작은 관심이 한 생명을 구하는 시작이 될 수 있습니다. 우리 모두는 연결되어 있으니까요. 작은 실천이 모여 더 따뜻한 세상을 만듭니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다. 함께 공감하는 하루 되세요. When viewers begin writing comments about where they are watching from or describing moments when they helped animals, the conversation grows naturally. Stories appear from different countries, different cultures, and different landscapes. Yet despite those differences, the emotion behind each story feels very similar. Kindness, responsibility, care. These values appear again and again, showing that compassion is something people everywhere can understand. And sometimes, reading about someone else's act of kindness is enough to inspire another person to do the same. That is how change spreads, quietly, one moment at a time. A single act of kindness may seem small in the moment, but its impact can reach much further than we expect. When someone helps an animal and shares that experience, it reminds others that compassion is still a powerful force in everyday life. Many viewers who watch stories like this begin to reflect on their own experiences. Some remember a time when they helped a stray animal without thinking much about it at the time. Others recall moments when they saw an animal in need but were unsure how to respond. These reflections often lead people to think more carefully about the choices they make. The next time they encounter a similar situation, helping animals does not require perfection or expertise. What matters most is awareness and willingness. Simply recognizing that another living creature may be struggling is often the first and most important step. From there, even a small action can begin to improve that situation. A bowl of water placed outside during a hot afternoon might seem insignificant, yet for a thirsty animal, it can be life-saving. A small portion of food left near a quiet corner can provide strength to an animal that has not eaten in days. Even protecting an animal from immediate danger, such as guiding it away from traffic, can change the outcome of its day entirely. These acts do not require large resources or special equipment. They begin with something much simpler: the decision to care. When people start sharing these moments with others, the message spreads naturally. One person's story encourages another to look more closely at the world around them. Communities begin forming around the idea that small acts of kindness matter. The comment section of a video like this often becomes a place where people from many countries describe their experiences. Someone might write about rescuing a bird during winter when food was scarce. Another viewer may talk about feeding stray cats near their home every evening. Others simply express how emotional it feels to watch a vulnerable animal finally receive help and safety. What makes these conversations powerful is the reminder that compassion is not limited to any specific place. It appears in cities, villages, forests, and coastal towns all around the world. People from different cultures may live in very different environments, yet the instinct to protect a vulnerable life is something many share. That is why your voice matters as well. Where are you watching this video from right now? Every viewer represents a different place on the map, and together those places form a global community. When you write the name of your country in the comments, you add another point to that map. And when you share a story about helping an animal, you may inspire someone else who reads it. Maybe your story is simple. Perhaps you once left water outside during a hot day. Maybe you helped a lost pet find its way back home. Or maybe you just took a moment to protect a small creature. That could not protect itself. Those moments are important. Animals cannot ask for help. They rely on awareness, patience, and kindness from the people who cross their path. When someone stops to notice, even briefly, it creates an opportunity for compassion to appear. So if this video touched your heart, take a moment to leave a comment or simply a small heart. Because sometimes, the most meaningful change begins with something very small. A single moment of attention, a quiet act of kindness, and the choice to care about a life that cannot speak for itself.